Welcome to the Lebo Lion Show, where we talk all things marketing, brand building, business, mindset, and sometimes pop culture. Guys, I am so excited today because we are having a conversation with somebody who I've known about. Like, I've seen him, I've seen his work, but then I got to meet him at the Everything is Marketing Masterclass, and I am really excited. And as you know, on this podcast, we do not introduce the guests, they introduce themselves. So, kind sir, welcome to the Live Lion Show.
Hi, Lebo. Thanks for having me.
For people who don't know you and the amazing work you do, who are you?
Okay, I'm Thobo Khathola. I come from a country called Botswana. I'm a father of two beautiful daughters. Been married for a couple of years and started this company, Lion Tutoring, which basically we have an app which is like Uber for tutors.
Okay.
And we hire close to 300 young people in Botswana and South Africa. So that's basically what I do.
Uber for tutors.
Yeah.
We were talking about something called dynamic pricing the other day. Do you guys follow that model as well?
Well, what we've done with our service, just to get straight into it, right?
Yeah. I mean, literally, you just planted the seed in my head, so I
Yeah.
had to ask that question before we even go into your story.
Yeah, we do. We try to hit different price thresholds. So what we've done with our service, we've made it into packages. So you'd find there's a silver package, there's a gold package, there's a black package,
Okay.
and all of them serve different segments of clients. So the bronze package, students are able to attend as groups. And then the more premium clients, we go to the students' homes, and we also have homeschooling.
That is very cool. Uber for tutors.
Yeah.
Never thought of that. And that actually makes so much sense. But before we go into Lion Tutoring, is it a coincidence that it's called Lion Tutoring and you're on the Lebo Lion
Level,
Show? How is
I'm
this
so
working?
honored to represent the brand, of just Lion. And I did talk to you of just talking about the whole excellence,
Yes.
the whole pride, just those things that we resonate with, looking at the lion, the king of the jungle, I'm so inspired and happy to be here.
So is that what Lion Tutoring stands for?
Yeah, like-
Excellence. What does it stand for?
Yeah, we really just try to nurture those good principles of a lion, leadership, excellence, pride. And, with most of our students, apart from just the excellence in the classroom, we try to get them to be excellent in everything, whether you're in a marimba team or you're in a cultural club or you're playing rugby, swimming, tennis, or you're playing an instrument. We need you to be the best at what you do because we believe that it's either you're the best or nothing. No one ever remembers, who came second or who
Yes.
came third.
Yes.
Of course, we do celebrate students that, they try their best, and not that they'll get 100% for every test, but we try to get them to aim for 100%. And I really try to talk to even the parents. Most of the parents, they'll say, "Ish, at least if akatsa senior, I really tell the parents, no, my student is going to aim for an A star. And if they do get a C, it's still fine. There's opportunities around that."
When someone goes on your Instagram profile, I mean, it's impressive. And the first thing that you have there is Forbes list under 30 2020. Okay, so we know that that's a mark of excellence. Just generally, if you're on the Forbes list, it means you're doing something big and you're doing it as a young person. And I want to go into that. Tell us a bit about Thobo, your story. How did you get to being the man that you are now, who's on the Forbes list?
Well, I was raised by both parents, and I think that is one thing that attributes Christian family. And we're really big on family from home, and I think that has played a good 80-90% of who I am.
Wow.
The way I value family, my parents, my siblings. I'm the first of three. And my wife, obviously, my two beautiful daughters. I think having a good family structure is what helps us to get into the next level of everything. And with the Forbes under 30, I was the first person from Botswana to be on the cover.
What?
So, yeah.
I want to know, what kind of boy were you?
I was a very naughty child.
What? I don't
I
believe
think
you.
with my relatives, they'll tell you we didn't expect it.
Really?
It really caught us off guard. Yeah, I was that kid. And I think just, being the firstborn and being able to get away with everything, I was just a naughty kid. But there was always structure in my life. My parents taught me about Jesus, about church and everything. And I always knew what is wrong and what is right.
Yes.
So that was a very good calibrating point in my life to say, even if I do this, I know it's wrong and I need to find my way back. So yeah, that's how I basically grew up.
We have a lot of parents who watch this podcast, young parents, right? What's the advice that you would give them in how to raise a child in a nurturing environment?
Yeah, so the first thing is, as parents, we tend to want to outsource things to teachers, to educators, to tutors, to au pairs, but there's certain responsibilities that you as a parent should have.
What is the Lion Tutoring company culture? What kind of tutors are you nurturing for people's children?
Yeah, so the biggest culture for us is convenience. We try to make it as convenient for everyone. We have clients that even from Botswana send their kids to come and study here in South Africa, and they want a tutor that comes up. If you say the tutor's coming Tuesdays and Thursdays for maths and science, it has to be that. So we don't. We don't look for excuses. We don't disappoint. But the biggest thing also is, we're young people, and it's intentional that all our tutors are below a certain age.
The bigger the gap in age, the harder it is for them to relate to each other. So I like that it's that intentional, that you've thought about the student's experience and you're giving it to them in a way that makes sense for them. Is Lion Tutoring trying to be a company that's only in Botswana, or are you spreading your wings or your paws all over the continent?
Yeah, so the state of education, it's bad.
Okay.
I'm not even.
You're not
and
gonna
I don't
sugarcoat it.
I don't want to be like so pessimistic and
Yeah.
negative, but it's bad. There's an 82.9% pass rate that has been put out there, but how many of those students who have passed make it to university?
And is this in Botswana or in South
No, this is
Africa?
the South African pass rate.
82.9
82.9
pass rate.
which is on paper, and these are kids who have scored 30% and higher.
30% is a pass.
30% is a pass.
Wow.
So imagine how many of those kids are going to make it to university, how many are going to struggle in university, and how many are going to drop out. How many graduates are we going to have? So that's basically it. The state of education is not looking good, and most of these become unemployed youth, and obviously the consequences of that: heightened crime, people not doing anything with their lives, suicide, which is what we've been seeing a lot. That some of these
Suicide
students,
amongst students.
I think in South Africa, there's just and even in Botswana, there's just a mental health problem that we're having. High unemployment. Every time you get into the news channel, there's negative this, negative that. So we mirror that into our kids. GBV, GBV is quite high, and the kids are looking. The way that I resolve conflict with my wife, those kids are watching, and that is what they're going to take to the playground.
Yes.
So those are some of the conversations we've been having in media to say we really need to stand up as South Africa. Sometimes we even change tutors for small things to say the child can't understand the accent. And we change tutors because we know that she won't be able to understand, or he won't be able to understand, because there's an accent that he or she is not getting. So we sometimes change tutors for those smaller things. But issues of competence also, we need to hold our educators to account.
What are the top 3 things that a parent should be looking for when they're trying to identify a good tutor?
Just the top 3.
Yes.
The first thing should also be just the competence. Does the tutor understand what they are teaching? And sometimes it's so unfortunate that you won't be able to get that until the lesson starts. So what we do at Lion Tutoring, we make sure that we really vet. Our recruitment policy is so strict that even if you come with your master's in education, we take you through vetting, which is ours. As an entrepreneur, no matter how big you get, you're still the lifeblood and you set tone for the company. And treat people good. Let's treat people good, because these employees are the ones that are going to represent us in front of the client. So if you're a douchebag and you're not treating people well, guess what? How they're going to treat the client. But the reason why we have winning employees is because we treat them well. We stick to our word. We stick to our obligations. If they're not happy with something, Reba, to what are you bothered with? How can you help? Not to say we should be extra nice. We have to demand answers. What is it that you did? But just be a human being. And people really pick on that, your clients and your employees.
Thank you so much for coming. Safe travels. And if people want to follow you, where can they find you?
Oh yes, all social media at Lion Tutoring and at Thobo Khathola. So we also on TikTok, even on YouTube, we have some of our video snippet videos of what to expect when you attend a tutoring session. So those parents tend to find a lot informational, but we're also trying to get our youngsters, those dance moves, those TikTok dance moves, we're trying to do that to just engage our entire audience. So that is how you can